All right, good morning, everybody. It's a Monday. Weekend went by too fast. It was actually a decent weekend. We had our company Christmas party on Saturday night. While we were there, it started snowing. We ended up getting a snowstorm, much more than what was expected. I didn't mention it much on Friday because we were only supposed to get a coating to maybe an inch. We were supposed to be on the northern and western fringe of it. Ended up doing something totally different, and we got nearly 6 inches of snow out of it. So half of Sunday was spent shoveling snow, and the other half was spent doing laundry and grocery shopping, and I just wasn't in the mood to do any kind of video work. So here we are Monday morning. It's cold. It's only 10 degrees outside. I'm wearing half a load of laundry again. Just been one of the colder and snowier Decembers that I can ever remember, and it's starting to get annoying. So towards the end of the week, we're going to warm up. Thursday maybe close to 50, and that is going to be most welcome, I'll tell you. So, but anyway, we're in the backyard. Jeep's out front warming up. We're going to get ready to go to work here in a few minutes, and we'll talk to you out on the road. Alright, so we're rolling. We're almost out here to 309 here and see what kind of traffic we've got. We're going to have a hard time getting out or an easy time getting out. Looks like we might have an easy time getting out. Sometimes this can be difficult. But we got out, and our itinerary today is 2 out of the Red Barn location, 1 down to Lansdale, and then 1 out of the Tamaqua location, subject to how the plant is running. If we get delayed on these first 2 loads, then the 3rd load is always in, or the 4th load is always in jeopardy. It all depends. Ideally, everything running great, and we get them all, and so forth and so on. I just talked to, oh man, you had 2 propane torches in here, and they're clanging together, and I'll have to figure out how to fix that problem. I lost my train of thought. That's not hard to do. I'm going to call somebody later on and see how the plant's running. I mean, it doesn't matter what they'll tell me, because it could change, and it's not going to be able to change it if it's slow anyway. But sometimes I just like to know what I'm heading into instead of being surprised. But yeah, I don't. There's 2 torches in here. I have my own personal torch, and then there's a company torch. That way we don't run out of propane if we need to go that route to get the valve open or the cap off. But I also brought alcohol with me. If you spray the cap with alcohol, which will basically sanitize it, it's basically the sanitizer that we use, it has less of a chance of freezing. So up here we can just use the sanitizer, but down at the plant, and especially up at the other well, which uses a different kind of solution to sanitize, I brought alcohol with me. It dries up the water, and so the cap doesn't freeze on. That's why the cap freezes on. Residual moisture in there freezes, and then we have to either hammer the cap off or torch the cap off. So if you spray it with alcohol, it gives it a better shot of not freezing because it dries it out. So, but we're almost here. You know the routine. Let's hope we don't have to wait on anybody, and we can get hooked up and loading right away. I see a car parked there. There are too many ums. I see a car parked there, so I don't know if it's the well owner or the landowner, but somebody is here. So I don't know if I'll be able to talk to you while I'm doing my loading. And don't know how icy this is going to be in here. It's 18 degrees right now. It warmed up a little bit, but not enough to make any kind of a difference. Oh, everybody's here. 2 vehicles parked here, and Now I want to talk to this guy anyway. Oh boy, look at the ice in there. This is going to be fun. Oh. So one of the pitfalls of water and frigid temperatures is just what you see here. Lots and lots of ice. And there's nothing we can do about it. It's just the nature of the business. All right, so we're loading up. That guy was just about done when we got here, and he's out of here. We're backed in and hooked up and loading. But when we leave, we got to go slow out the road and try to look for his hammer. He left it on the fender. And so it must have dropped off the truck somewhere. And if it dropped off before we get out to 309, we'll pick it up and give it back to him when we see him. I've done that a number of times myself over the years. I probably lost a half a dozen hammers. You get distracted and you leave them sit on the fender or the bumper, go back to the truck, and you're on your way, and the next thing you know, you don't have a hammer anymore. Which is why I really don't use a torch unless it's absolutely necessary, because I'd rather lose a hammer than a torch. But anyway, it's cold as hell out here, so we're gonna go back inside and wait till this is done loading and unhook and be on our way. Now, as we crest this little hill here, or get in the middle of it, you'll see where snow did drift across the road, which was something I kind of expected here. It's been windy since the snow stopped yesterday, and it looks, yeah, it's blowing across here, and up here on the top, we'll have another section where it drifts across. I showed you it in a video from last winter, right when I had gotten the flu. The drifting that goes on here, the wide open field to our right, and the wind comes whipping across here and just blows the snow right across it. And then you got a guy walking there, and that don't help any. Oh man. So, and this car up here going a little slow, so we'll slow it down. Keep our distance from them. It's not too bad. I've often seen it worse than this, but it is blowing across. This is a normal spot all the time. And there's a couple spots on 100 too, but nothing like what it does here. So, but anyway, onward and downward, since we're heading south. So this looks good here too. It really whipped across through here. But we'll talk to you down at the plant. All right, so we got here with the first one. Lights are on. We're unloading right away, and I got to make this real quick because guy getting ready to get out of his truck. He just got here, so make quick work of this and get out of here. All right, empty and heading back up. As you can see, the world changed down here. Last video, the ground was bare and you can see the grass, but this snow that we got this over the weekend was a region-wide snow. Everybody got between 4 and 8 inches basically east of the Susquehanna River. So you can see it's snowy down here. It's going to be snowy down in Lansdale. It's unloading down there. The snow was blowing off the roof. It was like a little mini blizzard there in the pad. It's not a fun day today. Tomorrow going to be just as cold. Actually, the forecast for today, I may as well tell you, is increasing clouds and then a chance of snow showers after 3-4 p.m. So we'll see what happens with that. But yeah, everybody got snow over the weekend, and some places got what they were supposed to get, and other places like up our way where I live, we were only supposed to get a coating to 1 inch. We ended up getting 6. So the storm kind of took a different track than what everybody thought, and we got a lot more snow than what we were supposed to get. Well, we caught up to something going a little bit slow. I don't know if it's a truck or if it's just a slow four-wheel, or it looks like a dump truck up there. We were rolling along pretty good here, rolling the speed limit, and then once we got into the curves down there along the creek, we slowed down to 40, 41, 42 miles an hour. I don't know, it's a loaded dump truck. Let's see. Now he's going southbound on 309, so that's good. Oh, a little single axle job. I don't even think he's loaded, but he just wasn't going very fast. Might be a township truck. Who knows? Now, let's see. Back pretty far. Will we hold this green light or will we have to stop? Hopefully we get through it. I'd like to get ahead of the other guy that just rolled in there. When I was doing my quick, it just turned yellow, but we're taking it. When I was doing my quickie selfie segment down there at the plant, the other guy was coming in. He's going to be following me right into the red barn because that's where his next load is coming from. So I would like to get loaded and out of there before he gets there. But we will see. Like I said, they got to do a hose replacement, and I don't know how long that takes till they get the new fittings put on the hose and get it all hooked up and stuff like that. So, all right, so we're actually loading off a new hose location because eventually in the very near future we're going to be able to load 2 trucks at the same time here. So I'm the guinea pig truck to see if the new hose and connections are working and the new control box is working, and so far it seems like they are. But like I said, it's cold out here, so we're not going to talk to you long. We're going to go back inside where it's warm, and then I'll talk with the owners a little bit more. So, all right, so we managed to get out of here before the other guy got up here, so that's a good thing. He's coming right now. Even with the testing process, which took a little bit longer. Let him get around these curves here. Gets a little tight in here, so we'll let him come around. It's wider here than down there, but perfect timing. Perfect timing. And from what they're telling me, he's going to load off. No, I think he's going to load off the new location too. Just one more test to see how it works with those bigger 8s. But then they're going to go back to the old setup for a while. Like I said, eventually we're going to be able to load 2 trucks there simultaneously, which will eliminate some of the log jam, hopefully. But anyway, so as not to make this video too long, and we got other stuff to do and other stuff to show you, we'll talk to you later on, probably down at the plant. All right, now that it got overcast, maybe you'll be able to see the ice in this creek a little better here, because as we go around the bend, we parallel the creek for a little bit. A little better than on a sunny day. That creek is just about completely frozen over there to our right, as you can see, or hopefully can see through the trees. Which is very unusual. Many times it doesn't do that even in the dead of winter, and here we are December 15th and that creek is just about frozen over. So it's just, like I said, a testament to just how cold this December has been so far. It's just unreal. But anyway, keeping on. We'll talk to you when we get down to the plant, as long as there aren't a lot of people there waiting to unload. All right, so we're hooked up and ready to go, but we got to wait until the other guy that's down here is finished, because as you can see, the silo light's out, which means I can't start till his pump shuts down. So we're one at a time, but he's probably at least halfway done, so we shouldn't have to wait too long. All right, well, that dude's gone and we're unloading now, so 20 minutes we'll be out of here. And I guess as you can see, we are overcast. I showed you that coming down here. I'm gonna check radar and see where this snow shower activity might be, because like I said, later on this afternoon there's a chance for snow showers. I don't know how much or whether it's going to accumulate or not, because the weathermen got the weekend storm wrong, so who knows with this one. But we're unloading. Boy, it's cold. It's not as windy as the last time. Last time it had blown the snow off the roof and create like a little blizzard down here, but the wind must have subsided a little bit because we don't have any of that going on. But geez, it's cold, I'll tell you. All right, so here we are, making a left, go back to the well in the woods, as I call it. And I hate to keep showing you the same stuff, but I'm curious as to what this road's going to look like with the additional half a foot of snow and the wind that we had yesterday and earlier this morning, to see how much, if any, drifting took place. And I'm also curious to see what it's going to be like back there at the well, because that was an icy mess on last week, and it's probably worse now. So go exploring together. You can probably see that the snow is a little bit deeper. I mean, I don't know what the camera captures as far as additional snow, but we had about maybe 3 or 4 inches on the ground, and now we probably got about 8, 9, 10 inches of snow on the ground. So piles are bigger, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know how bad it drifted through here. Looks like it did some. Still is a little bit, because it's fuzzy there on the right where the right side of the truck is driving right now. Oh, it could have been worse last night and this morning. Looks a little bit drifty, and here comes one of the other trucks. It's a little bit tighter now with the snow here. Braking traction a little bit. Now hopefully nobody's down in here loading. It's 1:35 and he just rolled out, so hopefully there isn't another truck down here that I gotta wait on, and we can hook up and unload right away, because like I said, we gotta go down to Lansdale, so we gotta go down the pike. Yeah, this road a little bit more snowy than the others we've been on. But these don't get taken care of. These are minor secondary roads. I mean, they get plowed and they get salted, but not like the state routes do. These are just county roads, or township roads, actually. So we'll see what we got here in a minute. It's a truck saying it's 24 degrees, so it is definitely not warm enough to do any kind of melting or thawing. Good, nobody's in here. All right, so we're hooked up and loading, and it's not a whole lot different than in Friday's video, I believe it was, except that the snow is deeper on this little path. We are not going to walk down there alongside the truck, because that is straight up glare ice. One of the pitfalls of hauling water in cold weather, as I keep saying, you gotta deal with the ice, and I've learned to walk in ice quite well. I'm pretty good at it, but I've had lots of practice over the years. As long as it's not as smooth as glass, I can pretty much walk on it. If there's a little bit of roughness to it, and I don't have a problem, I can almost walk normal. You know, I take my time, but I can almost walk normal on ice as well as dry pavement. But if it's smooth as glass like it is right there by the trailer, then no, I'm not going to walk on it. But we're loading down here. There was nobody here when we got here, as you saw, so we're able to hook up right away and go. Yes, those guys are going over to Reading. I'll be going down to Lansdale, but hopefully nobody comes in here while I'm here. I mean, I don't care if they do, and it's nice to have somebody to talk to, but and if they come in while I'm loading, of course, they gotta wait. So, that being said, I don't know, now I lost my train of thought again. I'm getting good for that lately. I don't know what's going on, but anyway, we're loading up and we'll roll, and I forgot to bring the hat cam. I had the camera, but I just didn't bring the hat that the clip is hooked onto, so can't give you the hat cam I wanted to show you when we were leaving here. But anyway, we'll do the best we can, and we'll show you more along the way. All right, coming out here to the 309-895 intersection, and I don't talk about this intersection too much, but this is one that actually could use a traffic light. There have been a lot of accidents down here, a lot of injury accidents and a few fatality accidents, because You got the gas station over there. You got two state highways over there. You got turning lanes to go each direction, and it gets confusing, and people just do stupid stuff. And like I said, there's been a lot of accidents here over the years. It's not a high traffic intersection, but just kind of a dicey one. And people have been asking for a light there for years, and PennDOT doesn't want to pay for it, and the township doesn't want to pay for it. So of course, no light gets put in there. I don't know how many I don't know how many deaths it's going to take for somebody to actually pony up the dollars to put a light at that intersection, but it really needs one. I'm not a big fan of adding traffic lights because it slows you down. Makes you stop when you don't want to stop, but that's one that actually needs one. I'll agree to it. But that's, who knows, maybe one day they'll put one in, I don't know. But anyway, we are doing what we do every day. We are climbing the blue, only we come out at a different location. Right here is where we would come out if we were coming from the Red Barn. I don't even know who's up in there right now, if anybody, but so we loaded out there at the well in the woods, so of no concern to us really. And then we're going to go up to Tamaqua when we load the fourth one up, so we won't be in the Red Barn the rest of the day. But anyway, you've seen this a million times, and we've talked about it a million times, but I just want to talk to you about that intersection back there. So we'll catch you down there on the turnpike or down in Lansdale. And for those of you who've watched this video or watched this channel more than a few times, you know that usually when I'm on 22 here, I like to run that left lane, especially up here by the Tillman Street get-on ramp, because that was my pet peeve when I pulled the 8,000 gallon tank and couldn't take 100 down there and get on 78. I had to run Tillman Street and get on up here at this ramp. I hated it because you have to come to a complete stop, and then you can't really see what's coming around this curve here. But we need to ride this right lane because the turnpike entrance is just beyond it. And if you stay in that left lane, they'll come out, and then you won't be able to get on the turnpike. So you kind of have to ride this lane and just make them wait. Ramps are kind of too close together, but trying to pull a 100,000-pound truck from a dead stop onto a freeway where everybody's doing 60 miles an hour is risky business. And boy, that was one thing I hated. When I was going over to the Allentown customer, and they're a good customer, I like going there, but boy, did I hate going there when I had an 8,000 tank because of having to come out from that stop sign there. So this is nice, no more toll booths, but they got to get these skinny lanes out of here so that you can kind of roll through better. But they're working on it. They are eventually, and they've done it down the line there at Lansdale. Even the foundations for the toll booths are gone. So that's what they're doing up here. They're going to rip them out and then kind of have a more direct ramp. Oh, what's this? Doing some construction work here. You know, a guy on a ladder up there doing whatever he's doing. They're tightening the bolts so the bridge don't collapse. All right. Anyway, we are on the pike. Time for a little bit of nice riding time. So my microphone decided to die on the way down here. So those last two segments, I had no audio. So the guy is here. He's fixing the tire. So you saw the tire in that first clip, drive tire on the tractor, and it didn't blow. It just threw the center part of the cap, and and it was brand new tire, brand new cap, so it's defective. So the guy's fixing it now, and told me we're going to get an adjustment for it because it must have been a defective cap to throw it like that. And I'm kind of lost for words here because I had my segment all set up when I got here and talked to you guys, and the microphone died. So I'm trying to catch up here, and I don't want to go out there and video him actually working. And some people do, some people don't. I don't like to do that, but he's here doing the tire now. But I'm kind of lost for words because I did my segment and explained what had happened and what was going on, and I had no audio. But anyway, he got here right quick, probably about a half an hour, and he was here. So we're getting fixed up now, and then we'll continue on our way down to Lansdale to drop this tank and grab an empty and head back up. Alright, so we are almost here, and it's 5 p.m., so right in the middle of rush hour now. The school, oh, there's a function over at the school. I see all kind of traffic there, but right in the middle of rush hour, so I have no idea what this is going to be like. Yeah, there's a lot of traffic there. I'm going to have to turn this corner, throw the four-ways on, and set up because I got to back almost immediately in, and we're going to hold up some traffic here. Hopefully nothing else comes up. This line gets out of here and I can get doing what I need doing. This ain't gonna work. You need to go around. I need where you're at. I need that room. Go around me. Go around me. You too, go around me. Middle one that I got to use is not the easiest one either. I'm going to have to pull forward just a little bit so I can get it in there. Not fun. Not fun. Not fun. Not fun. This is why I don't like coming down here, because this is not a fun place, especially at rush hour. And he was not happy. Now, what line am I at? I don't want to hit that trailer. No idea if I need to pull forward again or if I have enough to get around. Yeah, I have enough to get around. The plow is wider than the truck, so the plow blade, what's plowed, is deceiving me a little bit back there as to where I need to be. Looks like I'm pretty much centered where I need to be. The lines are gone. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. I got to see something. There's a pile of snow back there. I don't know if I'm going to get all the way back unless I kick it down. Yeah, I don't want to be tearing mud flaps off, but you see what I got to work with here. There is a chunk of snow back here. And I don't know how hard or soft it is. I don't want to tear this mud flap off. Gotta kick it around a little bit. All right, looks like it's low enough that we can get it in here. Of course, this is the empty one, and now I'm gonna have to figure out how to get all that snow off those fenders. We don't have a shovel or snow brush. I'm gonna have to try and knock most of it off with my hammer, but yeah, this trailer is a mess evidently, and this is the one that's empty, but I gotta try and get most of that snow off of there before I run it. All right, well, I got the snow off the best I could with just using a hammer, so the rest of it will bounce off on the way back up. So yeah, evidently that trailer sat there all weekend and got snowed on, and they got, I don't know, somewhere between 6 and 8 down here. This area was always supposed to get more than we got, but we got a lot more than what we were expecting. But this area probably got 6, 7, 8 inches of snow. So all that stuff slid off the tank and onto the fenders, so I had to get most of that cleaned off. So we're cleaned off, we're hooked up, and we're just about ready to go. But all the extra time it's taken, plus the tire issue, like I said, we're not doing that 4th load tonight. We will not have enough time to get the truck back for my night shift partner. So we're going to take it up, we're going to fuel it and drop it for her. But I don't know what time I'll get back. I'm not even going to estimate right now. So we're going to finish up here, and we're going to go use the restroom, and then we're going to get out of here. All right, let's get ourselves out here before any more traffic comes. Oh, well, that was something else. I didn't expect this trailer to be covered with snow. I guess I need to get like some kind of a small shovel or something to shovel off those fenders when I have to come down here and do dropping hooks after a snowfall. Man, oh man. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, that's for sure. And my hands froze because all I have is I have good gloves for loading and unloading water. And I don't want to get those dirty because then you really shouldn't be touching the hoses with them. So, and I have a pair of leather gloves that I use for fueling and other stuff. Well, I used those while I was cleaning that snow off with my hammer. And man, my fingers got numb. Oh my God. But man, got most of that snow off. The rest of it's blowing off. I can see it in the headlights of the car behind me. But like I said, that's part of wintertime driving. You see the van trailers going down the road creating blizzards. So we're going to create a small little snowstorm behind us for a while till that snow blows off those fenders. But we're done, we're rolling. 5:40 p.m. and it's going to take us probably till an hour, 15 minutes or whatever, 6:40 going on 7 o'clock till we get back there. And then she comes in at 8:30. We're not going to have time to do that 4th one without getting back late again for her, because we still got to fuel too. She couldn't fuel this morning because one pump was broke down and there were 3 triaxles waiting on the other one, so she just went back to the shop. There's plenty of fuel for me, but now I'll have to fuel it for her. So, well, this afternoon did not turn out the way I expected it to turn out. I figured I'd get down here, drop and hook, get back up there, get my 4th load, and all would go well. Well, nope. Tire blowout, sort of, and then snowy trailer and everything else. So, but we're rolling. And we'll see how the trip northbound is. Hopefully it will be rather uneventful. All right, it's fueling time again. We're back. Top this thing off with some diesel fuel for her. When we get back to the yard, we'll top the DEF off too, and then she'll be good to go for her night. You can definitely do 2 rounds with it. I would not normally, I probably wouldn't have to fuel it every single night, and neither would she, but that's what we do. It's just a better way to go. But I would have rather been on the side that Heisler's was on. That's the easier side to fuel with, but we will use this side. One is as good as the other, but I guess this morning that side was not working. Now the only thing is, will they see my truck in there and turn my pump on, or will I have to go in? Alright, we're done for the night. We're fueled, we're DEF'd, and we're parked. Did our post-trip, did all our paperwork, just finishing up by talking to you guys. It's 7:15 right now, so if I would have ran up and run another load down, I wouldn't have got back here till about 9:30. And that's too late for her. That's well past her start time, so then she would have had to lose a load, or I would have had to lose a load tomorrow. But sooner or later, somebody loses a load when you're late to get back for your partner. So again, as I said in the last video, if the issue happens on my shift, I will eat the load. And we talked about it. If the issue happens on her shift, then she'll eat the load. That way, that's the fair way to do it. So only 3 loads. We didn't get that last one down to Fogelsville. It is what it is, and after the tire failure, I talked to the dispatcher, and so he knows about it, and he was the one that told me. He says, well, if you get it, you get it. You don't, you don't. So that's how it works. But anyway, we're going to pack it up, and we're going to head home, and I don't know what day we're going to do a video. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday, one of the warm days, because boy, is it going to be nice to enjoy close to 50 degrees, I'll tell you. But anyway, yeah, one of the warm days we'll try to do a video for you.